next part of the story. Now the girl said, I am getting off at Saharanpur. My aunt is meeting me there. So the girl said what? That she was getting off at Saharanpur and her aunt was meeting her there. Then I had a better not get too familiar, I replied. Aunts are usually formidable creatures. So there is a sense of humor here. So when the girl said, the girl informed the narrator that she was getting off at, she would go down at Saharanpur and her aunt would come to take her. And that at that time, the narrator, a little bit in a sense of humor, he said that he should not be too familiar or he should not be get too acquainted with the girl. Aunts are usually formidable creatures. According to him, aunts are really very dangerous creatures. Where are you going? She asked. Now the girl asked where the narrator was going. To Dehra and then to Mussoorie. So the narrator said that he was going to Dehra and then to Mussoorie. Oh, how lucky you are. I wish I were going to Mussoorie. I love the hills, especially in October. So the girl exclaimed a sadness that means in a tone that the narrator was very lucky because he had got the chance to Mussoorie. And she also wished that she would have got the chance to go to Mussoorie, as she loved the hills, especially October. Yes, this is the best time, as said, calling on my memories. The narrator said, of course, October was the best time to visit the hills. He remembered the thing and he told. The hills are covered with wild dahlias, the sun is delicious, and at night you can sit in front of a log fire and drink a little brandy. So the hills would be covered with wild dahlias and the sun would be delicious. Sun would be delicious. Why? Because the warmth of the sun in the month of October is very enjoyable, and the sunshine usually one cherishes in winter. So the sun would be very delicious, and the night, he described the night that one can sit right in front of the log fire. Log fire means when logs are cut and dried logs are burnt to get the warmth at night in the cold, and drink a little brandy. Means if anyone would enjoy the drink like brandy. Most of the tourists have gone and the roads are quiet and almost deserted. Yes, October is the best time. So most of the tourists already have gone and the roads were quiet and deserted. So roads were quiet means as there were no people, no tourists, the road was silent and the road was empty. So October was the best time. So that was a time when people or the nature lover can enjoy the nature of Mussoorie and during the time of winter. She was rather, I can say that it is late autumn. She was silent. I wondered if my words had touched her or whether she thought me a romantic fool. Then I made a mistake. So the girl remained silent. The girl did not say anything. At that time, the narrator thought whether his words had touched her or not, and whether she thought the narrator a romantic fool. So this is a term which can be used for the nature lovers. Usually the nature lovers are very much romantic because they are in love and in admiration with nature and the natural aspects. And they usually try to find love in everything, and they are usually get attached to natural beauty. As a result, they don't remember what is around them. So they are called foolish by the normal people. As a result, he thought that when the girl did not speak, and when the girl remained silent after his description of the events, he thought that the girl must be thinking him to be a romantic fool. And he said, and he made one mistake. What mistake he made? He pretended that he could see, but he asked the girl, what is it like outside? I asked. So he asked the girl the wrong question, that what was it like outside? Means outside, how did it look? She seemed to find nothing strange in the question. Had she noticed already that I could not see? But her next question removed my doubts. So the girl did not find anything wrong in the question, and anything strange also she could not detect. But when this was the narrator's thoughts were also going on in his head, and he thought that had she noticed already, means if the girl had noticed already that he could not see. But a next question removed my doubts. The next question the girl asked the narrator removed his doubt or suspicion. He had a doubt that the girl had discovered his blindness or not, but the next question removed the doubt of the narrator. Why don't you look out of the window? She asked. She said that why the girl would not look outside the window. So she instructed the girl to look outside the window. I moved easily along the berth and felt for the window ledge. So he moved easily along the berth and he felt for the window ledge. The window was open. I faced it and making a pretense of studying the landscape. So he moved along the berth, means easily he moved along the berth and felt for the window space. Ledge means the border of the window. He tried to feel with his hand, and he easily moved along the berth, means you can within the space of the two seats of the passengers. He moved easily and he felt for that window ledge. The window was open and I faced it. So the window was open and he just faced it. And he making a pretense of studying the landscape. So he stood near the window. He could understand where the window was open. And he started to pretend that he was studying the landscape. Or he was watching outside very carefully. I heard the panting of the engine, the rumble of the wheels, and in my mind's eye, I could see telegraph posts flashing by. So he heard the panting of the engine, he heard the rumbling sound of the wheels, and in his mind's eye, he could see what? The telegraph posts flashing by. So he could see that the telegraph posts were moving by. Earlier, telegram was a method of communication. Later on, fax, email, these things developed. So telegram, the communicating, the mode of communication like telegram just went out of service. As a result, there were telegraph posts in earlier days, and the narrator felt that he clearly heard the sound of the engine, the rumbling sound of the wheels, and in his mind's eye, he visualized that the telegraph posts were moving by. Have you noticed, I ventured, that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still? So this is a very natural question he asked the girl, that if she had noticed that the trees always seem to be moving, means while one seemed to be standing still. In the compartment, a person seemed to be standing still. On the other hand, the trees outside the window seem to be moving. That always happens, she said. Do you see any animals? So the girl is very pretty conscious about the natural phenomenon. She said that it is a very natural thing and it always happens. And whether the narrator could see any animals in the jungles.